Watch me make this beautiful veggie rice using the absorption method. I'm just going to show you how to make beautiful, soft, fluffy veggie rice using the absorption method that you can't get wrong. When I make rice with the absorption method, rice is thoroughly cooked through. There's no sticky parts to it at all, or sticky grainy rice, and it's all cooked through. So watch and let me show you. Starting off with 2 tablespoons of olive oil and a teaspoon of cumin seeds, not mustard seeds, sorry. As the oil is heating up, I've added the cumin seeds then, and as the oil starts to heat up, the cumin seeds are going to start to sizzle. So very important, I always say this as well, that when you are adding spices to oil, make sure the oil isn't so hot that you burn the spices, because then your dish will be bitter. So in this case, my vegetable rice, or Mutar, what we call it, if I'd put the seeds in straight away and the oil was really hot, I would have burnt and you would have had that bitter taste to the rice. So as the cumin seeds have started to sizzle, this is when they release their aroma and their oils, and they have a lovely aroma to them. To them, I'm adding half a onion. So I've got red onion here. You could use white onion. It really doesn't matter. So it's chopped up onion, and optional as well. I love adding to this spice dish cashew nuts. You don't have to add the cashew nuts, but I just love adding them. My mum used to put them in as well, and it just adds that lovely flavour to them. So I'm adding all that in straight away. Now, I've got my rice. I'm using Basmati rice. I've already washed, I soaked it. It doesn't really need, white Basmati rice doesn't really need to be soaked, but I soaked it for about 10 minutes and I washed it. And again, nowadays, rice comes clean anyway, but we used to traditionally wash it just to take away any grains or anything or dirt from it. And so washing and soaking is optional, that's up to you. But also what it can do, they say that it reduces the starch as well. So yeah, so I have got 200 grams of white Basmati rice. You could do this recipe using brown Basmati rice as well. All you have to do is just increase the quantity of water and let it cook a little bit longer. So that's with brown rice. Okay, so the onions and cashews have lightly browned. Actually, perfect. To this now, I've got my rice. Add the rice. I'm going to mix that all through thoroughly, very gently, so that all those rice grains are being coated in the oil. I used olive oil, you could use oil of your choice, and the cumin seeds. Okay, right, the temperature is, I've got it currently on a low. Just get that rice around the sides, like so. There you go. So now next thing I'm going to do, all I'm going to do for the spicing is I'm just going to add about 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric and salt, which is not a spice, a seasoning. And it's a really simple, really lovely, simple, my favorite rice. Now, mix all this up. So, mix again. And now to this, I'm going to add, so because I don't normally measure, but because I'm showing you the quantities here, I had 200 grams of rice, double the amount of just normal cold water, doesn't have to be boiling, 400 milliliters, so double the amount. I'm adding that all in, and as you can see, it's just a slightly little bit above. Now, you could leave it like this if you like. I am going to add I was going to get some peas. I don't have any in the freezer. I've got edamame beans. So this is how flexible this dish is as well. I'm going to slightly turn the temperature up. I've also got some sweet corn, frozen sweet corn in here as well. So it's a great way of adding to a dish some extra veggies as well. I remember growing up and we used to add chopped up carrots to this as well, and potatoes, but I don't think it's necessary to add potatoes to this, but you can do. You can make this dish your own. Now I'm just going to slightly turn this temperature up slightly. Now as it comes to the boil, or nearing enough to the boil, I'm going to pop the lid on. I'm cooking the rice today using the absorption method. It doesn't actually take that long to cook at all, because I have got just white basmati rice, and it will take about 10 minutes or so, not even that, for all that water to absorb. Once all that water has been absorbed, I'll just have a quick check and then I'll pop the lid back on. Now remember, it's going to be cooking with the lid on. I will then switch the temperature off and then just let it sit in the heat. And it's that extra bit of heat, the warmth of the pan and the hot water and the rice, and that's going to do the final bit of cooking. Once it's sat, this is afterwards, once it's sat for about 10 minutes with the temperature switched off, then I'll just get a fork and fluff it up, and I'll be showing you that. And then this is how I have always cooked rice. If it's brown rice, if it's white rice, sometimes I do a mix of rice and quinoa as well, which is really great protein source as well. And I always love to cook it using the absorption method. So the water now is coming to a gentle boil. I'm going to pop the lid on. The temperature is, I'll just show you, it is a medium, and then you just leave it, or just turn it slightly, and this will take about 10 minutes or so. And then just as it's all that water's absorbed, I will quickly show you, we'll pop the lid back on, and then we'll let it rest for another 10 minutes. So as you can see, let me show you that there's still a little bit of water in there. So we're just going to give that another couple of minutes, and then we'll switch it off. So I'll pop that lid back on. I'm going to show you very quickly. All right, all the water's absorbed. I'm going to pop the lid back on. I'm going to turn it off, and then I'm just going to let it sit for another 10 minutes. So it's finished cooking. I let it sit for about 10 minutes. Whoops. And then look, really lovely. And you don't have to let it sit like you can make it in advance. Let it sit even for longer than 10 minutes. That's and fluffy. Okay, so if you want to learn how to make beautiful, soft and fluffy basmati rice, plus so many other things like chapatis and curries using masala base sauce, dhaarka dal, so many dishes with just 7 everyday spices, then come and join me over on the school platform at the Indian Cooking Club. I've got the link in the bio. You come, it's free to join. I've got the 7 spices explained to you, and they are mustard seeds, cumin seeds, turmeric, chili powder, ground coriander, ground cumin, garam masala. I mean, there are so many other spices, but if you're a beginner to Indian cooking and you want to learn Indian cooking, then just start with the 7 everyday spices, and I will teach you how to cook with confidence, beautiful dishes, and just get confident using spices and get creative, making lots of dishes with ease and fun as well. I'll see you there. The link is in the bio.